Hello and bienvenidos. Welcome to Women Who Lead. I'm so excited that as we continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, that I have the honor of bringing together another trio of Latinas who were among the exclusive lists of top producers who were invited to attend Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Summit. And the summit took place in Kona, Hawaii last month. It was so much fun, and I learned so much. And to be invited to Summit, you have to be among the top 5% in our company of over 72,000 plus agents. So congratulations to all of you, because that is a huge achievement. I'm Teresa Palacios Smith, and I'm Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer for Home Services of America and Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And if this is your first time watching, this show is about sitting down con un cafecito and getting to know women that are my inspiration every day. And as you can see, this is why I love what I do, because I get to be surrounded by incredible, talented women like these. And today I have the privilege of hosting Latina top producers, and I'm going to introduce them one by one. And today with me is Tabitha Sanchez Height. And Tabitha is with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Fox and Roach, serving the Philadelphia market area. She is a second generation realtor. And I'm going to talk about her mom, who was an incredible mentor to me. And in her 3 short years, Tabitha has established herself as an expert, offering her clients a comprehensive range of services. She has an entrepreneurial spirit in tow, and she and her husband actually established a thriving salon business of 16 years before Tabitha decided, to veer off and actually follow what I say is her actual footsteps into real estate. This decision has paid off, as she's created immense opportunities to use those skill sets that she developed all through her life. Inspired by her youngest son, Tabitha also serves as a team ambassador for the National Down Syndrome Society, advocating for the rights and inclusion of individuals with Down syndrome. Welcome, Tabitha. I'm so
Thank
honored to have you on
you.
the show.
Thank you for having me.
Excited. All right, next we have Natalie Sanchez, and Natalie is with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ally Real Estate, located in Bossier City, Louisiana. That is a southern state, just like me. She started her real estate career in 2021 and quickly has attained success, achieving the Rising Star Award in her first year of business. And since then, she's already received numerous accolades, from rising as a top producer within the organization. She is deeply committed to community services as well, which I think is a running chord with all of these amazing women, and dedicates any free time that she has to 318 Latino, which is a bicultural and bilingual platform that connects with the Latino community. I'm not aware of it, so we're going to talk about that, Natalie. She's also one of the owners of Three Brothers Construction, which has been serving the area for over 10 years, which is how she became passionate about real estate. I found that so interesting. When she could see the opportunities that having a real estate license could also bring her business, as she achieved remarkable returns on property investments and flips, which is another way that you too can earn an income. So welcome, Natalie, to the show.
Thank you, Teresa. It's a great pleasure to be with you and these amazing women.
I'm so, again, honored to have you as well. And then Belinda Caspi-Wiseman. And Belinda is Vice President and Brand Manager of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Laffey International Realty, one of our top Berkshire Hathaway companies. She has over 22 years of experience in the real estate industry and has earned a reputation as a top producing associate broker in Long Island's prestigious North Shore, which is absolutely beautiful. Belinda is a former attorney with a background in public relations. That's my background too, but not the attorney part. It's allowed her to flourish in the business. Belinda is the daughter of Cuban immigrants, and her multilingual skill sets, she speaks Spanish and French and English, has served as a huge asset in her business. Belinda has extensive experience in the community and serving in leadership roles, including with the Long Island Board of Realtors. She also served as president of the PTA at the Walt Whitman Elementary and Syosset High School, and she's earned numerous awards and continues to hold membership in the Florida Bar and the New York Bar Association. I love that you also serve as an interpreter with the Nassau County Bar Association, where you provide translation services to Spanish-speaking clients. And if that were not enough, she also serves on the board of directors for the Gates Civic Association and the Friends of Syosset Library. I hope I pronounced Syosset correctly.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Awesome. Welcome, Belinda. Is that one of the counties or one of the communities in the?
Yes, Syosset's one of the local towns, and where my kids all went to school. So very happy to give back. And I'm so honored to be here with these amazing women. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I am so ready to get started and find out more about your backgrounds and how you all got into real estate. Because sometimes people get into it by chance. Sometimes they're like, okay, like Tabitha, you know what? This is kind of in your blood. You might want to get into it because you really fit that mold. And so tell me first off, I'll start with you, Tabitha, and then Natalie, and then Belinda. How did you get into real estate? Tell me about your market and what's your price range like, so others can know, a little bit about your real estate experience.
So obviously I got into real estate. I grew up with a parent who always worked in the real estate, market. She was never a realtor, but she worked in business development and the relocation part of it. So it was just meant to be. I've always been an entrepreneur and always a self-starter. So for me, going into something where you really need to be responsible for yourself, just pulled me in. So that's why I got into it. Self-starter, entrepreneur, ready to go. And my price point, I'm probably in the high threes for my average price point of a home. I have a very diverse group of clients, all price points, all backgrounds, all neighborhoods. I really enjoy actually that part of the business, really being able to diversify myself.
And I love that you had that background too as an entrepreneur. That really, I think, helps a lot in your business because you saw all types of clients within your salon.
Yeah.
And that's your sphere of influence, right? That's where you get the opportunities to work with those clients and represent them in the real estate transaction. So I think I said Belinda next. Belinda, tell me how you got into real estate.
So as you know, I am an attorney since 1988. And I had taken a little break. I had 3 boys in 4 years. So I kind of had my hands full. But after the third, I kind of said to my husband, you know what, I want to go back to work. But I'd been out of law for so long. And he suggested, getting into real estate because for lawyers in New York, we basically just have to apply. And I said, all right, well, that's a plus. And he said, and it gives you the flexibility to be around for the kids and still do what you want to do with the PTA and your community. And I thought, it's a great business for a mom. And that's basically how I jumped in. And my market is anywhere from, 6s to 3 million. I predominantly do my sphere of influence, my neighborhood where my kids grew up. And, like I teach my agents, I'll go anywhere, do anything, have car will travel. So
I love that. And I know that you also are in the managing side, which is a little different. That's kind of like where I started. I started as a realtor, actually had real estate experience, started in new construction of all places, and then moved into relocation, which, again, in managerial, that's how I got to know Frances, which is Tabitha's mom, because in the relocation business, you go into management and then you handle a lot of different scenarios. So it's a really great practice. And I know you're doing that too as well, Belinda, which is a little different spin, which I love. How about you, Natalie?
Well, thank you, Teresa. Well, as a Christian woman, I think everything has a purpose in life. And listening to Tabitha and Belinda, I think I empathize with both of them. My parents have always been in the sales business, even if it's just selling food or anything, you name it. I was 6 years old when I started selling my first empanadas, and I would go door knocking, actually trying to sell everything that I had. And It's so funny because if my sister is watching, she knows she will push me to go. She will not get out of the car because she wanted me to go and knock on the doors because she knew I could sell everything. And everybody thinks that about me, but I didn't think that about 3 years ago until I finally, as you mentioned, we own a construction company, and I just saw I saw a possibility of making more money so that I can give my kids a better education, which I have mentioned it to you, Teresa. That is my number one goal for my kids, to have a better and Catholic education. You already know that. But so I was like, we need to start buying houses because this is where the money is, and flip them. And I would call realtors, and they would show me one house, and they would ghost me. It was usually a very low income property, or it was a foreclosure property, bank owned property. So I see now why now as a realtor, I still don't turn my clients down. I try to help them, and I think I do a good job at it. I learned the deal, and I'm open to help everyone. But that's how I got started in real estate, because I was like, no, this can't be happening. Everybody that we call will answer one time, and then they won't call us back because I think it's only a $50,000 property. So I will get my license. And this opportunity has given me a way to give my kids a better education too.
I love that. And what's so true though, because people don't realize that in our industry right now, it is commission based, right? All of us earn a commission based on the production. So we have to kill what we, so we can eat, right? And so a lot of times, people don't understand, why will they not show me this property, or why? And it's because a lot of times it's very difficult to do that. But what we have found, and I know with our Latino agents, is that they are willing to serve the community, and they will go through the end of the, ocean to help them find properties, because in the end, you never know what opportunity that will bring in itself. So that's also awesome to know that you're doing that. So tell me, Natalie, you are a first generation immigrant to the US. Belinda, Tabitha, and I are all second generations. But tell me, what about your parents, the sacrifices they made for you to come to this country, and what that means to you, especially with all the opportunities that we in this country have available to us.
Well, I am what I am thanks to my parents. I can say that 100%. They are hardworking people. And my dad used to come here and work, and we will be the typical family that mom will stay with the kids in Mexico, and he will come once a year, just come see us for 2 weeks and then come back. Well, mom said one day, no more. We have to be together. Our kids are growing. We were 4. I have a brother that passed away back in 2002, and he was only 7. But I know he's an angel, he's in heaven. And my mom wanted us to be together. My mom wanted us to be a family, like it was meant to be. So one day she decided to sell everything we had in Mexico, grab our stuff, and we just show up. We call our dad from the airport. We were like, hey, we're here. You need to come pick us up. And we came over here back in 1999. And I didn't see a lot of Latinos. I didn't see a lot of Hispanics. My sister and I were the only ones in school. But that didn't stop me. I knew I had an opportunity. I knew I had a way to be different and make a difference in my life and my parents' life. And they inspire me every day. My mom never gets tired. She wakes up early. She goes to bed late. And I do the same thing. I feel like she has, even though she doesn't see it, I've become very much like them. My dad is also a hardworking man. He works for our company, and he wakes up he goes to work before the sun rises and comes back after the sun rises. And so they're just setting up an example for me. My brother, my sister, they're always inspiring me to do better. And, just know people like you, Teresa, Tabitha, and Belinda. When I met Belinda, we started talking about sale price, and I was, they were like, you're in the wrong place. You need to come to one of our places, because she knows how many properties I have to sell so that I could be at the summit. And I'm still gonna be working hard, and I already got my place in the next summit. So I've been working so hard.
You already made it. You already made it. I love that. That's
You're amazing, Natalie.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's right. So true. And I'm going to talk to you, Tabitha. I'd have to, if your mom is watching, Frances, love you. She is an inspiration. Your mother's an inspiration to so many of us. Sometimes I don't think she knows what an impact that she made on my life. because I saw her and met her for the very first time when she came to Atlanta representing the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And she actually came and spoke. I think she, she was so, and I said, and Allie, you know what I'm talking about. I said, one day I want to be just like Frances. I want to be her. And she has led so many of us, Carmen Mercado. I mean, we all talk about Frances. And I know for you, Tabitha, that had to be difficult to follow, especially with that being a second generation realtor. But I know that the wisdom that she imparted, what did that mean to you? And what have you learned about yourself since you've gotten into real estate?
So obviously, my mom is my hero. Growing up, I gave her a very hard time. She was a single mom. She was working 24/7 to be able to provide for myself and my sister. And I gave her a lot of hard times with the attitude I gave her. And I was not a very grateful child looking back at that time. But I ended up, usually you turn out like a parent, and I turned out just like her. I work 24/7. But when you love something you do, and I love both careers that I have, which is dealing with people, and management, and, selling wonderful homes and lives for people. So when you love what you do, it doesn't feel that bad when you're working all the time. Like if you're, last night I was negotiating a deal at 10:30 at night. It was okay because I wanted my clients to be under contract, but so it doesn't, when you love it, it doesn't feel that bad to work all the time. But I learned so much about holding myself accountable, and always trying to do the best for my clients and my family. And I work this hard, obviously, not, to provide a lifestyle for my kids and my spouse, that we can also enjoy life. So.
And you have I honestly, you have such a wonderful spirit, Tabitha. I have to tell you that the first time I met you, I felt that. And it was just resonated that you were your mother's daughter. I just see that and feel that in you. And so I just want you to know that and to recognize that we think you are a powerful Latina and you kick butt. So I just want you to know how special it is. And I never knew your mom was a single mom. So that's news to me. So that's even more, to me, empowering, because again, she was an amazing leader to so many of us. And now, Belinda, I know that you have a lot of intersectionalities. You have your Cuban heritage, you were born in the United States, you are a Jewish Latina, right? Which people are always surprised. Oh, I didn't know, I thought everyone was Catholic, right? That was from Latin America. You're an attorney, you're a leader. My goodness, how has this helped you be a better person altogether? How's that worked for you with having all these great backgrounds that you now are able to serve others with?
So it's kind of like what Natalie and Tabitha have said. My background has made me who I am. And I've always been very proud of being Hispanic. Growing up in Miami was very easy to be Hispanic, and because there were so many of us. But even so, there were people who were embarrassed or said, we're American, we live in the United States, and it's not about not being American, because I am American, but it's about, really intertwining your culture in everything you do. And that is the essence of who I am. And, I had a lot of strong female role models in my family. My parents came with nothing. My grandparents came with nothing. And, they all worked. So my grandparents helped raise me till the age of 4. I didn't even know English till the age of 4, but it's all of that has really made me a better person, a better leader, just listening to people. And it's something that my father said to me when I was very little is, when you climb up that staircase, when you climb up that ladder, remember who you're passing on the way up, because it may be the same people you're, passing when you're on your way down. So always treat everybody, fairly, the same, equal, and be the best you can be, and help others be the best they can be. So
what great advice from your parents, and what role models they were too. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of our parents, my dad and my mother, came with nothing. I mean, they came with nothing.
nothing.
And I say they didn't even have dollars. They only had pesos in their pockets. So not even dollars, so I can't even imagine that. Natalie, to me, it's just so, dumbfounding to me to be that courageous, to just start anew and to see the opportunities beyond yourself, right? And not be scared to death. So let's talk about mistakes, because we all make them. But when people see you, they think, oh, she's got it easy. She's educated. She's got another business. But what have you learned, and what mistakes would you like to say, hey, this happened to me, and this is how I learned, and this is what I want to impart on others? I'll start with Belinda, you first.
So, being that lawyer, I was very, I don't want to say pushy or aggressive, but use your imagination, when I first got started, because, you want to make that sale. And I remember one of my very first customers saying to me, like, chill out, like, let us see the house. You don't have to point out everything. And I was like, wow, what a wake up call, because, yes, it's my personality, but you have to really look at the big picture. And that was a big mistake. You really got to let people do their thing and take their time and ask questions, as opposed to just trying to drive it home, So that was something that I needed to settle myself, and I guess feel comfortable in that arena versus, my typical lawyer self and trying to win. It's very different. It's really more about people. And you really got to focus on that all the time.
I love that, because, it is for most people, it is the biggest investment of their life. It's where they're going to raise children and families, and it is scary. I mean, I remember that first home that I bought, I was scared to death. Any other mistakes that anybody wants to admit to that they can share? Natalie, how about you?
Well, I share one in my life personally, and then I'll share a real estate one. Thinking too much about taking the next step. This Natalie that you see now, and that you all see now, and that you met deeply in Summit, is not the same Natalie that was 3 years ago. And it was because I always have guilties about, should I do this? Should I not do it? What if I don't do right? What if I don't become the real estate agent that I wanted to become? What if I don't become successful? What if I don't sell anything? It was always thinking negative. And on my journey to being a real estate agent, I decided that I was going to block myself and not think about the negative, because there's always going to be things that there are always going to be mistakes, no matter what we do, for good or for bad. But we just have to approach them and embrace them as a learning experience. And I do think about things a lot. Like, I'm a big thinker, and I'm always thinking in the negative way. I was always thinking in the negative way. So don't let that stop you. To make it anywhere, you have to take the first step. And then once you feel comfortable with that first step, take the second step. And once you see it, you'll be walking, jogging, and running. Real estate wise, I did, and I'm going to be very honest, because you told me to be authentic and be me. I did not take care of myself. I gained like 30 pounds because I just wanted to sell. And I wanted to give that client all my attention. And I just didn't like myself. I'm going to be very honest. I didn't like the way I was turning into it. So about a year ago, and then back in Vegas, I heard Gino talking about his routine, every morning routine. And I told him this time, as I'm a summer, I said, part of my looking better, it's because I heard what you do. He makes sure that he gets his exercise first thing in the morning, and he finds a way to do it even when he's traveling. And I just love exercising. I love running. I love any kind of activities, being outside. And I just wasn't taking advantage of having 3 kids, and they love to run and they love to play any kind of sports. But now I do. I've been trying to take care of myself. So Dawn, make sure you eat. There were days that I did not eat anything all day because I was trying to put something under contract so that I can sell what I had, my goals, reach my goals. But make sure your goals also come with yourself, because if you feel good yourself and you're healthy, then you can work better.
It's so true. And I love that because,
True.
Gino does meds. So his meds, right? Which is meditation, exercise, diet, and what's the S? I forgot now the S. He's probably watching the show going, you should know what it is. But he does. He talks about that all the time. And it's funny because I'm going to share a story about Gino. We were just in Houston and we were at the LGBTQ plus Real Estate Alliance, and he's into swimming. And he actually took his flippers and everything and was in the pool swimming every morning while we were in Houston. So that is so true. He's very committed to exercise. And I think that is awesome. I did the same thing now. I gained a lot of weight too. So catching yourself, because when you're traveling, it's so hard not to eat healthy. So important to take care of yourself first. Great advice. I love that you shared that with us. How about you, Tabitha?
I don't have like a specific real estate mistake that I've made yet, knock on wood, but I would say if I had to go back and sort of fix the last, my oldest son just turned 16, would be, I wish, with the tech world that we're in and our phones so accessible at all times and clients able to reach me and employees able to reach me at all times. I just wish I managed that a little bit better so that when I was with my kids when they were young, now they don't care about me and they really don't want me near them anyways, but they're at that age of teenagehood. But when they were younger, I wish I trimmed down some of the ability to reach me, to work people, just to have more quality uninterrupted family time.
I think that's so important because
So
you show that, right? You're showing your children what is a priority. I had one of our clients told me what they do is that, and I thought, what a great idea, is they actually, because they want to be reachable, but they actually do it in text, and they also put in the hours. They say, hey, between this hours, I'm spending quality time with my kids between 1 and 2. So I'll promise you I'll call you right after because I want an uninterrupted time with them. Or I'm eating dinner with my children, which I very rarely get to do. So I promise I'll call you back as soon as I'm done. I mean, and it's just like super nice because people respect that, like they understand that, oh, okay, we got you. We understand. And that's really kind of important too, for us to really watch what we do with our kids. And I'm telling you, my daughters told me many a times things that I did. I was like, oh, I forgot about that, that we all feel so bad about. But in the end, she says, Mom, I would not change a thing in the world. And that always makes me feel so good that she always says that. My kids both say that. All right. So give us 3 tips. Okay. Because agents want to know tips about what have you found that have been so successful. Natalie, for you, I mean, you just said you hit your summit numbers already. So that, what are some things that you can share that you've done that consistently have helped you really achieve your goals?
Okay, number 1, focus on your goals. Make sure I have to write them down. It helps me a lot. It's just something that I do. And actually, I took everything down from my back wall because I didn't want you to see it. But I want to show you, see, I do these little things, pictures, to make sure I get those sold. So I know, knowing where you're going is going to help you focus and know what steps you have to take. So that's my number one way to achieve my goals. And we do have Berkshire Hathaway, my company, Allied Real Estate, offers a lot of mentorship, and I can get on one-on-one with different people at the office, and that helps. So find a brokerage, and I hope it's Berkshire Hathaway, that has all these tools, has all these ways to help you achieve everything that you want, basically. Number 2, I would say, I up to this point, Teresa, I have never paid for leads. all my clients come from having a good conversation and a wonderful smile. And I'm always smiling. You can ask everybody. I can say that I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, but I'm still happy. I'm a happy person. I am happy with what what has been on the past, what has been on the present right now. And I just don't complain too much. I just keep on going. Don't complain. Complaining is not gonna get us anywhere. I don't like when agents start talking about interest rate being so high, or no, just don't focus on that stuff. We need to make sure we're focusing on what we can do to make sure our clients, which should be our number one priority, is getting to their new home, or is getting to a home that they deserve. I feel like a lot of us concentrate on things that we cannot change. We have to concentrate on things that we can. And number three, make sure you follow up, even just with a call, even just with just a text message, just knowing how your clients are doing, because they become friends. For me, they're my friends. I can call any of them right now and just talk to them as friends. So make sure you take care of your people.
I love that. Great tips. Tabitha?
So I would say what keeps me going is the same. I have a goal, whatever my goal is. It's number focused, right? So I work well with numbered goals. And so that goal is on my computer, which I walk past when I walk through the house every day. And I know that I have a goal that I want to hit, and that's my motivation to continue to outreach to my clients, send letters, if it's going to be letters. So having a goal and a number in your mind, in the back, in front of you, that you can see at all times, I think has been helpful. The other thing, and it's, we've gotten to such a tech savvy world where I find it really crazy that a lot of agents don't pick up their phone anymore. And for me, if I'm negotiating a deal, if I have a client that's interested in a home, I'm calling that agent. I'm not shooting the agent an email. I'm not texting. I'm calling, picking up the phone and calling the agent. A lot of times agents don't pick up. So then I'm texting and saying, hey, can we have this conversation over the phone? Because, right, like, you want to be able to tell them about how great your clients are, what type of offer is coming, and try to really effectively communicate that offer negotiation. So it's been upsetting to see that so many people are moving past a phone call, but I'm going to keep going for it, because I think a phone call, when you're talking about someone's huge investment, is really important. A text is okay for little things here and there, but when you're negotiating a deal, I think it's worth a phone call. So I'm hoping agents start to pick up their phones a little bit more. And just telling, a lot of clients, when I hear they're switching agents, it's usually because, like I had one yesterday, they're not happy with their agent because they feel like they found all their own homes on Zillow. And why do I need this agent if I'm going to go find the own homes? And then the agent doesn't have time to show them the homes, when they need to go. So it's making, if I can't show a home, I ask somebody that I'm close with, hey, can you show this for me? But you also have to be active in looking at these homes, for your clients. Like, if they're just sending you all the homes they want to see and you haven't really put any effort into that, how much are you worth your commission? So just staying ahead of the game and making sure that you're working for your client and you're doing what you said you were going to do, which is find them a home.
Well, I can see why you're so successful in the business, because that is my number one complaint. Number one is when agents don't answer the phone. It drives me insane. People will call me at 11. I'm a late night owl, and people will call me at 11 o'clock because they're calling from the West Coast, and I answer my phone. And they're like, I can't believe you answered your phone. I said, well, I see you're calling me. Obviously, you need me. So I'm here to answer, to help you. How can I help you? I think it's so important, and it's a lost art. How about you, Belinda?
I so agree with both what Natalie said and what Tabitha said, and it drives me bananas. And I'm always saying to my agents, you'll never win a negotiation via text or email. You've got to pick up the phone. And when we're talking about goals for me are my agent's goals. Mine are always secondary. It's about the office goals, the agent goals, and the company goals. But for me, and it's always been this way since I was a little kid, education and knowledge is power. You never stop learning. People say to me, oh, you chair grievance and you're a lawyer. I don't know everything. I never know. I mean, I tell my kids I know everything, but I'm always trying to learn more, make myself better, educate my agents, what's coming down the pipe, new laws, new whatever. And I think education is very important. I'm also a very positive person. I don't live with regret. What I do is what I do, and I move forward. But communication is critical. I think Tabitha hit it on the nose. People stay with you because you communicate and they feel confidence and trust that you're gonna, do for them the right thing. And that's another thing, doing the right thing. I will always do the right thing, no matter what. You can never go wrong with doing that. Don't be afraid to ask for help, ever.
Oh, that's a great one, because people are nervous about asking for help. I want to share one thing that I did that I'll never forget. I messed up one time with a client that I didn't follow up with them because it was over the weekend, and I waited till Sunday. And so when I called them, they said, well, I've been waiting all weekend for your call. I've already picked another agent. And it was a referral from a third-party company. So Tabitha, it was a relo referral. And I felt so bad that I didn't know how to resolve it, because I lost the client for the company, right? And they went to another third party. And so I just called the third, and I said, it was my fault. I did not call them until Sunday night. And I sent them a basket, told them I was so sorry, that I hope that they, went well with the new agent that they selected, but that if they would ever needed to give me another chance, that I would never prove that would never happen again. And that client actually came back to me because of what I did. Like, isn't that amazing? Because I really felt really bad about it. And so I know that people respect when you own up to a mistake, and that you're willing to admit, hey, this is something, I'm so sorry. I should have called you. It was totally my fault. No one else's fault, my own. Anyway, so what is your superpower? What do you say? Oh, this is really we all have what we think is our superpower. How about you, Belinda? What's your superpower?
It's funny. I asked my husband that question this morning, and he looked at me and laughed. But I think I have a real gift for honing in on an agent's best qualities and really making them better. Taking a good agent, making them better, taking a great agent and making them better, and just really honing in on their strengths. And because we all have them. And so often we focus on our weaknesses, but it's being a good cheerleader and believing them. And I think a lot of people don't have self-confidence, and I have a lot of self-confidence, and I try to exude that to my agents, and really, you're doing this for a reason. Your clients trust you for a reason. Believe that, and being a good cheerleader, a good listener, a good coach, a good shrink, sometimes that's just part of what we do. But I think that's my superpower.
Oh, I think that's fabulous. I love it. Tabitha?
I would say multitasking. I am just a really good multitasker, and I will accredit that from, having waitressing jobs. I feel like everyone should be a waiter or waitress, because you gotta hustle and you have to be able to multitask. So I would say the ability to multitask and do it effectively. And that, I would say, that's my strength.
Beautiful. Natalie?
Absolutely, empathy. I think I can sit with anybody and feel empathy with other people. I don't judge anybody. And you can ask my friends. I got a lot of friends, and I feel like that's one thing that has earned me their friendship and my clients' trust. And I just feel like we need that in life. We need to be more empathized with other people, because nobody knows their situation. We don't know exactly a background from anybody. So all we have to do is just to make sure we understand that everybody's different. They don't have to think like us, but that doesn't mean, and we don't have to accept it either. We just have to empathize and understand we're different, and we're here to, help each other.
I love that. Great superpowers. All right, we're almost running out of time. Can you believe this? So one of the things that I want to talk about Summit, because I felt like it was very magical. I mean, being in Hawaii during the time that we were at, to me was very magical, and the whole experience was something that I took a lot away from it. But what were your takeaways? I'll start with you, Natalie, Tabitha, and then Belinda.
Absolutely, getting to meet you better, getting to know the real Teresa and what all you do. And just like you said, just like you admire Tabitha's mother, and I'm starting to admire her too now. I admire you. And I told you that. That's why you brought it up, because I was like, I want to be like Teresa one day. Why? Because you represent all of us as Latinos, our Hispanics, our Spanish speaking, not just agents, but women trying to succeed in this industry. And you know it's not easy, because there's a lot of great agents around us, men-wise. But you set up the example, and it was an honor, a pleasure to get to meet you and all you little crew, great people. Belinda, when I talked to you, I thought you only speak English because of the way you look. I'm sorry. But she's like, no, I speak Spanish. I'm like, you are? You do? I was so excited to see a lot of Spanish speaking agents out there. It got me excited. I knew I belonged there, and I'm gonna work hard every day to be at Summit. Definitely all the speakers, the way that Summit puts together, just know the knowledge for real estate, but knowledge in life. I love the stories that they share. I love that there's human beings out there doing much greater things than me. And that just inspired me to whatever I get to do, even if it's this little compared to what they do, I need to do it right. Another thing, I love how Berkshire Hathaway, the setup, everything that they do around us just to make us feel important. I did feel important. I feel like I earned my place in this great place around great agents. I love everything about it. I was very excited. You know that, Teresa.
You were. I love that energy that all of you brought to a summit, because it's very contagious. It makes us all feel like one united family, which this is what makes it so special. I have to give a shout out to Denise Doyle and her team at our Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices company, because she's the one that puts that together every year. She does all the events, and she does a phenomenal job. So big shout out to and kudos to our team there. Again, I think, Tabitha, did I have you next?
Yeah. So I, first of all, education is key to success as well, right? Like if we're not learning, we're not growing. So for me, all these events are super important and inspiring. They always, Berkshire Hathaway always picks some really great speakers, and the Wine to Water, Doc Henley from Wine to Water was so incredible. Wow, it's like this world is filled with all the crazy stuff going on. You almost forget sometimes all the good that is happening. And if anybody's listening, Wine to Water, Doc Henley, great story of how he is providing clean water to so many people that need it. And it was a wonderful story. So that really was just a great story, and is inspiring, right? Because it just reminds, I think for me, it reminds you have to continue to give back to your community, right? Like I'm so grateful for where I am today. But I owe it to my community to continue to give back. And that can be done in so many different ways. So for me, it's just a reminder like, hey, you got to get back out there, and help your community.
Oh, I love, that was my favorite thing too. I was going to say that as well. It just really resonated with me. And it's so true, because I think the biggest thing when I'm the most content is when I'm giving, not when I'm getting. It's like when I'm giving, because after you do it, you're like, you feel so good. You feel the people's faces and the experiences that they, that they have, that you're giving them something, is what it's all worth it to me. How about you, Belinda?
Yes, what these two ladies said, and I have Doc Henley on my list as well. So one of the things one of my takeaways was we're all in this together. right? And we're all experiencing the same thing. But being together definitely helps. And the great connections we made. And yes, Natalie, I remember you meeting me. You're like, oh, you speak Spanish? And then, of course, I rattled, claro que sí. So, and then, just really, the fact that BHHS is exactly where I want to be. It's an organization that champions diversity and understands the importance of giving back. And that is everything to me. So, yes, Doc Henley, wine to water. I actually wore my shirt through one of my hikes in Hawaii. And I just think that the takeaway is really that, I'm happy where I am and happy with all the people that I get to meet.
Oh, and I have to share that same experience with you. To me, what was so satisfying was the team building experience that we had after, where we build water filtration systems. And it was so, easy to do, right? I mean, obviously to get, but to change the lives of so many across the world, which is what the wine to water idea, right? What the concept is really providing water that's clean out of dirty, filthy water that you can impact somebody's life, because we all have to have that. I have to agree. That was one of my biggest takeaways, my biggest experience, and the whole experience was so wonderful. All right, so let's talk about business, because it can be very frustrating. I know that you all had to, I did, experience something that was just, oh my God, I'm never going to get this done. Oh my God, is this ever going to get through? It can be very frustrating, but it's also very rewarding. And so please share one experience that was so memorable that you have to say, wow, this is what makes it worth the whole kit and caboodle. Anyone that wants to volunteer, because I know this is kind of a unique question that I ask. Anybody?
It's memorable for me. I mean, because I really work for my sphere, every deal brings something memorable to the equation, right? But something that really stood out, it was right before COVID. And I had taken one of my friends who owns a Cuban restaurant. He's from Miami also. And I said, let's do a video in my new listing, which has like an amazing kitchen and great room. And let's make mojitos. So we called the video Magic of Mojitos. And it was about celebrating New Year's. And then we did a little salsa dance in the great room, but it highlighted the house, right? Because it's all about our client and the house, but it was the magic of mojito. So the video went off, and our first open house was right after New Year's. And it was incredible because we had like 40, 50 people lined up. And the first like 20, they came in and they're like, oh, I thought we were going to have mojitos. And it's the power of video. And it just really, it was just amazing to see how many people are seeing you and you don't even realize they're seeing you. But that was a lot of fun. That was just a little bit different. And so I know our CEO likes to call it the magic of mojitos. So you can see it on YouTube.
I love it. We'll have to watch that. How about you, Tabitha or Natalie?
I think for me, I am not able to think of one specific, but I do work with a lot of first-time home buyers. And for me, it's, the joy of seeing a first-time home buyer take all the money that they have so hardly saved and buy something, and seeing those smiles on their faces of just the first time that they're building equity. It's just like every time that deal closes, it's just so amazing to be like, we just started your journey on home ownership, building wealth, equity, and just having them feel so proud at that moment. Because I know for some people, it's easier, right? Like we have some people that, they get money from family members and it's an easier purchase. And then it's the other people that they really had to work and get that down payment at 3.5% down. That joy is pretty awesome to see at the settlement table.
It really is. It's it makes this so worth it. So worth it. And Natalie, how about you?
I agree with Tabitha 100%. Seeing my clients that didn't think they have an opportunity to own a house, even clients that I work with ITIN numbers, and I'm sure you understand this, they didn't think they have an opportunity, and for me to come and learn, like Belinda said, we have to keep acquiring knowledge, and this knowledge will help us serve our clients in a better way. Definitely. So seeing them happy when they send me a text, almost 100% of my clients allow me to take a picture so that I can post it on Facebook, unless it's like an investor and we've done a few times and I don't ask, but all my clients get so excited when they get on that picture. They share the post, just see them then, and then everybody tells me they're gonna invite me to the house once it gets ready. We're gonna they prepare food for me. Just all that. It's just, I'm like, oh, it was so much worth it. I'm not gonna lie to you, because if agents are watching this, being able to pay for my kids' school, which it was one of my goals, without being late every month, it's fantastic. And real estate has given me that opportunity to provide for my kids. And I want to share, taking a little bit from Tabitha. I know we got a few minutes, but at first my kids used to hate it because I was on the phone all the time. I was showing my investor 10 houses, and they're like, how many more does he have to see? How many more does she have to see? I found a letter not too long ago. I'll post it later on Facebook, from Lenise that she wrote for school. She never showed it was my daughter. And she just described how proud she was of me. And I just feel like I'm making a difference. The little one talks about buying a house in Dallas because we have travel soccer every week. And he's like, Mom, we're paying too much for hotels. Let's just purchase a home and we can do an Airbnb. Just listening to them, it's like we're leaving something behind. Thank you for sharing your story, Tabitha, because it makes me want to believe that my kids are looking up to me like you did to your mother.
Oh, I love that. That's so special. It really is. All right. We got two quick questions. Role models. Do you have role models, mentors that inspire you? Just give them a real quick shout out, because I think that's so important to really credit back those who inspire us every day. I'll start with you, Belinda.
So, I mean, I've had a lot of people who, through my careers have always believed in me and supported me and always been there if I had a question or help or whatnot. My husband is a big mentor to me. He's the master salesman. So I've learned a lot of, from him through the years of being a better agent, believe it or not. But also, our CEO, he's dedicated to making his management team and his agents the best that they can be. So
tell me his name. Your CEO is
Emmett Laffey.
That's right, Emmett. Hey, Emmett, we just want to make sure.
I hope you're on.
Yes, absolutely. Tabitha?
I would say, somebody like, I don't know if it's a role model or some woman icon I've always admired is Catherine Switzer, who was the woman who ran the Boston Marathon as the first female, and she snuck her way in. And for me,
I remember that.
I'm a runner, and I have done several marathons, and for me, having a woman get the courage to do that. Wow, it gave me an opportunity, because now I'm a runner and I'm able to have that as my therapy. So for me, just looking at her with the courage to do that, she has always been, just like an icon for me.
I think she's perfect. I love that. And Natalie, you last.
My mother, absolutely. She's always there for me. She inspires me to be a better woman every day, even though sometimes we take our family for granted, and we know that they're there for us, but I know she's always there for me, even though I'm not there for her as I needed to be. But my mother is definitely, like I said, she's never tired. Don't ask me how. She goes to bed late and she wakes up early, and she's always cooking for us, and she's always watching the kids for me so that I can do things. And yes, and there's a lot of people, Teresa. I want to thank all my friends at Berkshire Hathaway, definitely good, close friends that I have, and that everybody that has been there to support me and help me and cheer. Those who texted me this morning and said, you got this, and I thank him for doing that.
Oh, I love it. All right, last question. Favorite quote as we end the show. I always ask, what's your favorite quote or book that really resonates with you? I'm going to start with you, Belinda.
So, I mean, there's a lot, but one that has always stood out for me is Barbara Corcoran, when she said, in real estate, the three key factors are location, location, and people. Always remember, it's not just about properties. It's about the people who call them home. And I think that's really in essence of not only who I am, but really what Berkshire Hathaway stands for in terms of being the forever agent. It's not about the transaction, it's about the people.
Oh,
So
I love that.
that's
Love
mine.
it. Tabitha?
I will go with my favorite quote. I was Eleanor Roosevelt. I am who I am today because of the choices I made yesterday. So, you know, and I hope my kids live that, right? Like everything we do in life has a consequence, and it might be a good consequence, it might not be. So just making sure that's always in the back of my head as I'm making decisions.
Fabulous. And Natalie, we'll end with you.
Yes, love always wins, no matter what you do, and no matter what situation you're approaching right now, even if when you're helping clients, even when things are not seeing the way you're seeing, just love, love, love. At the end, even if it takes time to reach your goals or to reach that place where you want to be, love is going to get you there.
Oh, what a great way to end with these wonderful words of wisdom. You are also inspiring. Thank you so much. I think that real estate is just one of those careers that you really have to be passionate about. And I can see that each of you are so well suited for this business. And I love this quote, which is so true about what we do. And that's, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. I think that's perfect by Steve Jobs. Thank you so much to each of you for loving what you do. Your energy and excitement for this business is what sets you apart from others. And I really enjoyed our conversation and our cafecito together. And thank you all out there for watching the show. Please join us again. 2 powerful broadcasts that are coming. The first one on November 8th, right here on this channel. We're going to zoom in on another great team of women leaders, and also watch our new series called Diversity Matters. It's going to air on October 25th. That's another great episode that I think you'll enjoy. And please remember to join our Facebook page, share our episodes, and like our YouTube channel. And my saying, remember, always bring other women up the ladder with you as you climb to the top, because when we do that, we all rise together. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. And thank you, Latina Powerhouses. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
You're a great role model. Thanks,
Thank you so
girls.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
ladies.